Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Hope everyone out there is having a good day and a good weekend, y'all. We got a good TikTok conspiracy theory compilation coming up today. Where's the water going? Data centers pop up, waters drop, levels, lakes disappearing that have been here since the beginning of time. We're going to get into that today, y'all. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
So it's confirmed that they lied about the coronavirus. And you can see the tweet the White House put out earlier today. It has 50 million views. Now on the website, it states that the virus possessed a biological characteristic that is not found in nature. Social distancing was also completely made up. The whole standing 6 feet apart and wearing masks was completely arbitrary and not backed by science. So shutting down schools and businesses was not even necessary. Now China also originally explained that COVID naturally jumped from an infected animal to a human. However, critics are saying that China hid some very important information. It's very possible that a researcher was accidentally infected while studying bat coronaviruses at a Wuhan lab that then allowed the virus to spread outside the facility. So now the World Health Organization is admitting that the COVID-19 pandemic was a failure due to the fact that they basically just believed everything that China told them. All I'm gonna say is if you got vaccinated, brother, you are cut. And the sad part is some people were basically forced to take the vaccine because their workplace didn't allow them to go
Military.
if they weren't vaccinated.
You've got witches actively cursing you at every hour of the fucking day. Think of the way. That's why any president, look at them. Look what happens to them. They melt down. They're crushed by just the sheer weight of occult energy being leveled at them by all variety of sorcerers, necromancers, garden variety witches, like hardcore mountain wizards. You just don't even know what's coming.
Soothsayers, REI counter employees.
Yes, evil eye in you.
Yeah.
Just like you've got the evil eye on you at all times.
You know why women give birth on their back?
Because it's only comfort for the doctor.
No. But you know why that even started? Allegedly,
Yes, I'm lazy.
allegedly, back in the day, King Louis of France, he used to have a fascination of watching women give birth. So he would lay them down on the table and he would watch them give birth on the table. And ever since then, it's been regulated to do that way. Because the way women are supposed to actually give birth is standing up, crouching down with like a pull up here. And that's why women are so more prone to tear when they're laying down on their back. But actually supposed to give birth.
Really?
Yeah, I learned that from her too.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought it was just because the doctor's more comfortable delivering a baby that
no.
way. I thought the actual position to deliver a baby was fetal position.
Is there anything occultic or dangerous about Smurfs?
But there are some things about Smurfs that we need to look at. First of all,
Smurfs,
you
Reginald.
notice that they're depicted as blue with black lips.
Well, isn't that interesting?
And you know what happens to you when you die? You turn blue and your lips turn black.
What?
It's crazy, huh?
What? How do you get that conclusion? Man, I tell you, context.
I was cracking up at this last night.
Not just in the biblical language, in the context of the Bible, but just the world in context. I mean, people they just draw their own conclusions.
No, he's.
And what happens when you turn dead? When you go dead, you're blue.
God told them all this.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
They made a robot centaur? You heard that right. So this is 3 halves. A robot centaur made by the company Satris. And I mean, it's exactly what it looks like. They're calling this thing a super humanoid general purpose robot. Now, this thing is supposed to be designed to take on a number of daily tasks and to help you in numerous situations. As you can see right here, it's holding a chainsaw. And I'll just say, the photos this company released couldn't have been unsettling enough because look at the way it's just standing there staring at you through the doorway. I mean, really, look up close. Why did they make it look so menacing? Now, if this thing does go rogue, I guess they designed like a dedicated kill switch to like shut it down if it, goes off the deep end. And it also has like a utility type system where it can kind of like quick draw utilities. So like this thing could be armored up with blicks and everything. But yeah, there's no official release date yet, nor is there a price. But from my understanding, this is a real company. I did my research and this is actually a product that will be coming out soon. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of this in the comments. Would you put this in your house or use this in any way, shape, or form? My name is AT. I cover news on the internet. I just got banned at 5.7 million followers. So like and follow for more, and I'll see you guys in the next video. But seriously, why is he looking at me like that? I mean, just nah.
I know for a fact that our government, along with other governments, have some type of social intercourse with our visitors. But at the same time, I know that our visitors are partially responsible for why full disclosure is not taking place yet. And that's easily proven. Given that they are here, what power on earth could stop them from making themselves known if they wanted to? That being said, I feel that governments need to find a responsible way to start getting the information out that we are not alone in the universe, that there is other life out there, and that life is coming here visiting our planet. And it's for pure scientific purposes, to try to gain a better understanding of us and hopefully enlighten us to the point where at sometime in the future, we don't wind up destroying ourselves.
You know, when I hear people say they're spying on us through the TVs, I be quiet, because when has a TV been this cheap? Ask yourselves, when the fuck has TVs been this cheap? You can get a 75-inch for $500-600. When have you known TVs to be that cheap? And a lot of people keep saying, oh, it's cheaper because they're not using that much material, this, that, and the third. A plasma TV used to be $2,000 to $3,000 at $15,000 at max.
Damn.
You mean to tell me I can get a Samsung, a flat screen for $200-300? Those little box TVs, that's what we used to get for $200 or $300. Actually, you used to have to go to a yard sale or have to know somebody that was selling a TV. Give them a couple dollars, probably $80, $100 for a TV. It's like the more they make things accessible and cheap, the more I realize they're using it to spy on us, or they're just using it for their benefit. And they need more people to get it, so let's drop the price on it. I don't know, but TVs used to never be this accessible. You can go get a TV for $100, $200.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to me.
A smart TV too. You can get a smart TV for $200-300. I was driving down the street yesterday, y'all, and I was so shocked at how many cameras are just everywhere. I noticed the flock cameras. Noticed cameras on all the the intersections. Like cameras everywhere. I'm gonna have to film it next time I'm driving down the street for the video, y'all. Have you guys been seeing these all over your area?
It took me 5 years as a nurse to realize that the system is not built to keep people healthy. It's literally monetizing off of sickness, confusion, fear. Literally, we are being monetized off of keeping our public sick, our public scared constantly. We're fearing everything and we're confused. Everyone's confused because there's so much information out there. It's so overwhelming. But once you're able to see the game and see the patterns in the game, it all starts becoming very obvious. For example, GLP-1s. GLP-1s are booming right now. And I don't want to get into the controversial conversation. The GLP-1s boomed. All of a sudden, protein became the #1 talk. So now there's Doritos protein chips, man-made bioengineered food that was made in a lab, and the body doesn't actually take in all those ingredients that are made up and fake. It took me 5 years to realize it. It took me almost losing my life and also being put on many medications.
No.
I saw this.
So basically, there is a theory that, and I don't want to get sued, this is all alleged and, whatever, but there is a theory that before, we had phones and everything, years ago, that we didn't have all this technology. So one way, allegedly, that they would get all of our data and all of our information and pictures of our faces and things like that would be to set up school photos where a photographer comes in and takes pictures of every single kid at the school every single year through every phase of their life.
That's crazy, huh?
And why? Like, nobody questioned that or thought it was fucking... Oh, the yearbook! Nobody thought it was fucking weird, but there is a theory that that was an early form of, like, data capturing and getting images of all of the kids' faces and watching them age and, collecting all that data. I don't know if I believe in this theory, but what I do think it's interesting that, like, because, schools, like, the government has access to all of that. And now all these schools over the course of the last 100 years, there's just pictures and pictures and pictures of every child, every kid as they age. Like, it's kind of interesting.
Why isn't it?
I mean, from kindergarten till senior year, they just a picture. 2 or 3, right? They would do fall pictures, if I'm not mistaken, or winter pictures, and then, beginning of the year school pictures. And what are they doing with those? Right? They put it off to us like, you can give them to your family members, right on the back of the picture, yearbooks.
And screaming from the rooftops about the hill in Turkey where they found Noah's Ark in terms of all the dimensions. It's petrified. And they went there with like metal detectors, and they were finding screws in the remains. You can actually Google it right now. In fact, we put it on the screen right now. There's actually Noah's Ark on a mountaintop in Turkey.
Then I realize what it is. There's a man in back of this place. He's the one who's doing it. I can see him through the wall. I'll bet I never see that face ever outside a dream.
Anytime you are going to register your car, you get a little tag in the mail, and you peel off the tag, and you're going to stick it on your car. When you get that tag, read it. Read on the tag. It says for official use only. So you're peeling it off and putting it on your car. So now your car has official use only, meaning the state owns your car. And since the state owns your car, they would like to know where their car is. So that's why once a year you have to register your car. You've got to register it to let them know where the car is, because they own the car. And incidentally, that also is why you have to have insurance and a seat belt. It's because you do not own your body. The government owns your body, in point of fact. And so your body is a security on the New York Stock Exchange, and the corporation that owns you, and you are owned. There are laws that expressly say that you are owned. You just don't know it. And since you are owned, your owners do not want you to get hurt, so that they have to take care of you, because you're a security on the New York Stock Exchange. So you must carry insurance. Well, I mean, that makes sense if you've got a stock on the stock market. If you can insure it, that's even better. And so that's why you have to have a license. You have to have insurance. You can't get married without a license, because everything in our life is a business.
All sport is run and controlled by the parasites. They showed you in the closing ceremony of the World Cup. The Red Shoe Club are high members. The Red Shoes is believed to be made from real you-know-what. It's terrifying and upsetting what they do to those little ones.
It's animals showing up that people can't really explain. But when it comes to portals, all throughout history, you hear about holes opening up and things coming out of them. Right. You hear about this. Everybody watching this, you need to go check out Skinwalker Ranch. Go look up Robert Bigelow and the experimentation that they ran, because they began to interact with the life on the other side. And it made them uncomfortable, and they stopped the experimentation.
Right.
That's what this shit is about.
Right. So go deep into dark matter that CERN allegedly discovered. Because I can prove that it was discovered before then. But listen, when it comes to dark matter, for people that's watching this, what is dark matter? Like, a lot of people think it's like dark energy, like some voodoo shit, like some bad shit. Like, what is dark matter?
Dark matter is a form of matter that does not emit, absorb, or reflect light, making it invisible to telescopes. So, when you look out into space and you just see black,
right,
that's dark matter.
But it's energy inside the dark matter.
100%.
So stuff is going on inside the dark matter.
100%.
But we just can't see what's going on inside the dark matter.
We don't know what frequency to look at it on.
Right, because they say our eyes only come with so many different colors. We only can see the rainbow colors. There's a lot of things that humans cannot see that could be directly in front of us.
Yeah, we can only see 4% of what's in front of us.
So it could be stuff happening right now that our eyes cannot even see.
100%. We know it is.
Lil Wayne fans are freaking out right now all over the internet, saying that this person performing in his place is actually an imposter.
I just saw him with the beer
and they
belly
really
not too
might
long
be
ago.
onto something here. He does move like Lil Wayne, kind of. But look at that face right there. That looks like someone at least 2 decades younger. And that's not even the craziest part. Right here you have a more clear image. Lil Wayne has tattoos everywhere. And you really can't see any, sure, you could say that to the camera, but again, this is a pretty clear picture. And a quick, by the way, before we get into these tattoos, the Conspiracy Mail Club is now live, physical mail to you every single month. If you want to join the mailing list, say Mail Club below. They may be destroying all the books, but they can't destroy our copies of these books. As you can see right here, all this tattoos is clear as day. And now look, I'm sure Lil Wayne is going to see this video. So when you do, just let us know below, is this really you? To me, the tattoos are the least of my concern. It's that face. Let us know, Lil Wayne. Thanks in advance.
What bet you made with Danny about our first kiss?
No, it wasn't the first kiss.
No,
This was like a second or third kiss.
It was the first. It was like the first week.
No, it was not the first week.
Whatever. Then Danny goes and goes, dude, I'll give you $10 if you French kiss her.
You're making it sound like it was like really. Okay, Dan, we had a little side bet going.
We're going to do some very simple maths here. She was 14 when she started that show, and he was 20 years old. Now in the clip, she says 1 week in, he was doing what? She still would have been 14. And then, given the history of Ashton and who he affiliates with and all the stuff that surrounded this guy over the past few years, it's safe to say this hasn't aged well. There's a story she came out with where she said she lied about her age. But last time I checked, even in the most basic jobs, is it not mandatory to submit ID? So you'd think in a massive show that's going on television, they'd be doing these things for safeguarding it. Just another day in Tinseltown.
Where did nuclear technology come from?
Oppenheimer was perhaps more of a propagandist than an actual scientist.
That was true of a lot of the scientists involved.
Yeah,
it's not clear what they were creating.
Right.
It's very clear that they were used to create the illusion that they were creating something, but it may have pre-existed them.
Some of the early people involved in those chemical sciences, they would sometimes describe what they were doing as a kind of ritual. So they saw the idea that you could split the atom as kind of a ritualistic principle. By doing this, you release energy.
Well, it raises like a question, which is like, where does the act of creation come from? So the act of creation is God's doing and Satan's destruction. Every person who's ever engaged in any creative activity knows that there's what we call this moment of inspiration, where the idea, the notion comes to you, but where does it come from? You're not really coming up with them so much as you're summoning them. I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's true for good things, but it's also true for bad things.
The aliens, they chose that route. They didn't choose the route of the people. They chose the route of control and destruction and power.
Is urine human feces? And then you've got a baby carriage. We're going into the men's room. Oh, my God. Oh, guys, just get this room. Oh, my God. This is the most disgusting. Oh, I can't stay in here, guys. I cannot stay in here. This is the most revolting smell I've ever taken in my life.
After they got out of the Superdome, the only place that they could go was this elevated bridge because the whole city had basically filled up like a bowl of soup. So they were out in like 90-degree weather, just baking on top of this bridge, waiting for buses to get them out. Some people tried to walk out and just start going out of the city because that road would eventually lead them out. But they had it blocked off where people on foot couldn't walk out for some reason, and they had like armed guards there. And the same thing was happening at the convention center, except they forgot about them. They sent 19,000 people there before the storm that couldn't fit into the Superdome, and they didn't have supplies for them at all. And the media was putting out that there was 100 armed criminals that had taken over the convention center, and they wouldn't let police in and wouldn't let anyone in to give supplies. But after they searched all 19,000 people afterwards, they only found 13 weapons total. So those news reports actually hindered people getting supplies at the convention center for days. And keep in mind, there was over 40,000 people that were still stranded in New Orleans that weren't able to go to the Superdome or convention center. And they were stranded in their houses when the levees broke and had to get to their roofs. So in part 4, we're going to talk about their stories, and also the hurricane actually did a skirt to the east and ended up making landfall in another spot.
Kind of funny that nothing like this has really happened since. Shadiness to people since the internet and TikTok. Now, there's been floods like the North Carolina to take your land to mine. There's been, the 2020 pandemic, all these things, but nothing to that extent of a Hurricane Katrina where they did all these shady things to people. That would have been, can you imagine if the TikTok was around back then?
Yo, right, yo, what if the ingredients part on all the shit that we buy is bullshit? What if they not the real ingredients?
Yeah,
You
could
gotta
be.
understand, we don't package none of this shit. We don't even know where the shit come from. The shit just pop up in the store and we buying it. Half of us don't even read the ingredients or know what the fuck the ingredients is actually saying. And then the government run the FDA, so the government could just approve whatever the fuck they want to, knowing it's fucking us up the whole time. Then on top of that, they know some of this shit cause cancer, some of this shit cause all type of illnesses, but they still putting it in the stores. The FDA still approving it. It's still being sold to us. What if everything is bullshit? Cause I swear when I was a kid, bro, the animals used to want what we had. You go on a beach and with a funnel cake, the fucking seagulls is dropping down, taking that shit. Now the animals don't want nothing that we have. And it seemed like it's more ingredients being added on to everything. What if that's all bullshit? What if all the ingredients that's on the back of the shit, none of that shit is actually in it? It's actually a bunch of bullshit in here that's killing us slowly. What if that's what's really happening?
I mean, it could be. Is there laws where it has to be 100% accurate, or is there laws where like 80% has to be accurate? But even the food, I don't know if it's just you get older, right? You hear people that get older and they're like, I just can't eat pizza no more. The cheese, the sauce messes up my stomach. Just can't eat it no more. Because I'm not going to lie, y'all. Last night I got some hot Cheetos. I fell off the wagon, right? I ate not even a quarter of the bag, y'all. I was getting anxiety while I was eating it. Like, I'm gonna pay for this tomorrow. I ended up throwing them away, y'all. My jaw was locking. Like, I never done drugs, but like you see in those, like that's what was happening to me, y'all. Like, is it just you get older? So I'm like, I can't eat that no more. Right? We got a lot of older people that watch these. Like, is that what happens? Because I used to kill these when I was young, y'all. But I can't eat them no more, y'all. It's just doing something to my mind, doing something to my physical.
Breaking food news. This is something that I didn't expect. Now, one of the 33rd family members, they mentioned that they have friends who are Amish. And they said that their children, you know, children are very sensitive, just like a lot of people are today. They said that their children are now having these same symptoms. They're not having an appetite and they're starting to somewhat refuse to eat. Now, this right here is what someone is saying. Now, I don't know what Amish people use, but I figured they would use something more natural. But they said that some of the stuff that they use for pesticides may be causing them not to want to eat. Maybe the children are just naturally picking up on something and saying that, you know what, this isn't right. So they're refusing to eat. So we are not the only ones going through this here. It's affecting the Amish as well. Imagine that. Tell me what you think.
Break it down. So why is it that when you have water in your house or your apartment, they put it in a straight line, right? Now think about it. Think about what he just said. Spring water, what does it do? It goes around in circles. That means it's kinetic energy. It's cleaning itself.
Slow down, Mom.
What else goes in a circle with water? Toilets.
And that's what fucked me up, right? Because he said water in the toilet, but it ain't the fact that he said water in the toilet. It's what they use the toilet water at that fucked me up the most.
And what happens in jail? What happens in jail when they're using water?
Everybody gets smarter. Listen, I said, Mom, listen. In jail, I was the smartest. My body looked good. And we had a little thing like, damn, we went around drinking shit water. And the water's so hard. But I realize now water's supposed to be thick like the water we had in jail. And listen, and everybody in jail was running around getting smarter. Your skin getting better. The fluoride is gone. That's what's going on. Because like he said, we drinking toilet water that spins. That's all, Mama. Yeah. So everybody, why you think everybody in jail gets smarter? They calling you, telling you some shit you don't even think they even supposed to know. They tap in.
As soon as they get out of jail, they get out and do some dumb shit, and then it's dumb again.
Yeah, they forget like me.
If that is,
I mean, think about it, y'all. Nobody drinks out of the tap no more. No one drinks out of the water hose. I grew up drinking out the water hose. 115 degrees outside, playing outside. We drank out of water hoses. Everyone buy these 40 packs of water. Buy these filters for your refrigerators now. Buy these 5-gallon tanks for your water. Don't drink out of the tap. Do any of you guys still drink out of the tap water with no filter or nothing? Like, they are like dooming that now. Nobody does. We all drink out of water bottles. We drink out of our refrigerator. Or we drink out of the 5-gallon tanks that are so-called filtered by osmosis and all this.
Are non-harmful.
Check this clip out. It's a good one.
Please allow me to build it on your land next to your house. Thank you.
Just so you all know something, everybody that's up here, we live here.
Yeah,
I've been here since
but the data center
1978.
won't, the data
So you
center
can,
won't be in your house, and it won't, and how will it affect you? Where do you live? It's the same thing. Let's put a traffic circle right outside your house and see
I
if you
have
like
it down the road and it works.
in your opinion. It's your opinion, sir. That's all it is. You're
Well,
a common
you say
man
yours
just
is
like
correct,
me.
so
You put your pants on just like me, and we
I
both
do,
have
but
a
you
vision.
don't realize that, and that's where you're missing the boat.
No,
And so does
no,
everybody
sir,
else
I'm
up
not
here.
missing the boat.
You seem to have all the answers, but I never
don't.
see you what's sitting up here.
I do
It's
not.
easy to be an armchair quarterback.
I would tell you this, sir. I would tell you this respectfully. It's not easy to be an armchair quarterback because at the end of the day, just like you're on city council, I have to watch you make decisions that people don't want. And then at the end of the day, you get in your car and get to go home. And you get to be like, well, we did what was best. Well, what was best for who? If it were up to me, this would be a public vote. One man, one vote. Send it to the people. And then you can vote and I can vote. And then we'll just see how it turns out. And then we could truly say the people of Elizabethtown want this or don't want this. Thank you for your time.
That's the problem, y'all. That's the problem. If they had votes, do you guys want this data center to come? Well, what's going to come from the data center? Higher bills, less water, dirty water, crops are going to die, right? You don't even got to tell us those things. Just do you want a data center? No. The vote is going to go to no. But they don't even give us a choice no more, y'all. The electricity bill out in El Paso, they raised the electricity bill. Do you know who they had a vote amongst to raise the utility bills? Amongst the company. It wasn't amongst the people. It was amongst the El Paso Electric Company. Do you guys want to raise the prices? And I get a lot of comments on this hat, y'all. This is a chihuahua. These are ears. These are not devil horns. Wake up, people. Wake up.
You know, I think AI will probably, most likely sort of lead to the end of the world, but in the meantime, there will be great companies created with serious machine learning.
I have a conspiracy theory regarding these data centers.
No way.
2026 into 2027 is going to be that super El Nino.
Drought.
They're saying the hottest Earth has been in human history.
That's crazy.
But it's like we're also building these data centers that put off an extreme amount of heat.
Ooh.
The ocean right now, like specifically the Pacific, holds 11 million terawatt hours of energy.
Never heard of that.
But they said that the whole planet Earth uses 25,000 terawatt hours per year. So we're having an excess of 11 million terawatts being released into the atmosphere. They're saying it's literally going to be the hottest temperatures Earth has ever experienced in known human history. Insane storms, droughts, famines. It's like, are they using this as an excuse because all these data centers are popping up all over the world, and that in fact is going to ruin
100%. They say it's the birth pangs of the Antichrist is what causes the famine and the earthquakes and all this stuff. So when they say birth, these data centers are maybe the
birth pains of what is to come, the big old.
This is happening right now.
Look at all these people out here giving their blood up. Look.
American Red
That's
Cross.
how you know shit real. Look at the line. The line spans all the way back there, sir, to give up blood.
I just made a video on this.
The line goes around the corner to the plasma center, sir, to give up blood. To give up blood.
Go to my IG.
On that side.
Go to my IG.
If this shit ain't real, y'all stay on point and watch your back.
Anyone else find this creepy? A California startup company has revealed this new robot that is supposed to help with wildfires and stuff like that. But there is something very creepy about this robot. I mean, honestly, could you imagine this thing coming to you if there was like a natural disaster of some type? I mean, come on. This is the stuff that nightmares are made of. And it also looks like a certain something. I mean, seriously, if this thing came to me during a natural disaster, there is no way I would let this thing anywhere near me. Would you? Because you have to admit that this looks like something else entirely when you actually begin to look at this and begin to do your research. This is very creepy stuff. What do you think?
We have a bunch of bad farmers market and food scams. First, this woman selling blueberries at the farmers market is ripping everybody off.
Yeah, it says POV. You're now sitting
Told
in your
y'all.
car questioning every farmer's market you've ever been to. And this woman is dumping grocery store packaged blueberries into her own. Now they're from a farmer. Now it's going to be $3 more per package, and it sat in the sun all day. Farmer's market 15 years ago, that guy was a farmer. He drove in.
That's his truck. He's
Look at
backed
it.
up right here.
There's like a shitification happening
Yeah.
with the farmer's market, and it's almost like full circle where the words don't mean what it is anymore.
Yeah.
I told you, when there's money involved, y'all, you gotta expect the worst. You gotta expect that I'm being scammed. You have to, especially now in today's age.
Sure, some are great. You go out local, but you kind of, in scam culture, you have to really do your research. You got to look someone in the eye, shake their hand, and then they still might be lying to you.
We have another example. This is from a Parisian bakery. This lady bought a $12 croissant, and look what happens.
I actually can't believe this. We're at this croissant, like little cafe, and we got this pistachio croissant for $12. And I was like, this is insane for a price. And then I turn around, look at this. The delivery guy just came in. Oh my God, what's more? Croissants are
It's
from
an Uber
Costco.
Eats order.
Costco.
We got the croissants from Costco at this Parisian bakery. Next, we got a
Yeah, but I bet if you try to tell that, hey, let's meet up at the park. I'm gonna grab some croissants from Costco. Let's hang out at the park on a first date. Hell no. I want my croissants here. We gotta go eat here. And then you see that ain't no pleasing these women, y'all.
guy who got scammed at a farmer's market when he bought a painting.
It's a man and a woman couple. Here's how we got scammed at an art fair this weekend. My husband found this painting he loved, and shockingly, I loved it too. We never agree on art, so we knew we had to buy it. We got to talking to the artist, and he shared that he painted it last night and explained how he used acrylic paint to get the colors just right.
Didn't smell like paint, though.
Yeah, we paid $250 for the painting, but before we left the art fair, my husband started to get suspicious that it wasn't a real painting. He went back to talk to the artist, and the artist insisted that he painted the original the night before. We brought the painting home, and my husband still had a nagging feeling that something wasn't right, so he put it in Google Lens, which is how we found out that we paid $250 for a $60 print from Target.
Dang,
My
y'all.
husband went back and showed the artist proof that it wasn't a real painting, and the artist immediately gave him a full refund. The art fair organizers found out about what the artist was doing and asked him to pack up and leave. I like how they're still calling him the artist. Well, I guess it's scam artist, the scam artist in parentheses.
In his diary, he says privately, he put COVID's fatality rate at 0.2 to 0.3%. And then under oath, a couple of weeks later, he told Congress it was 10 times worse than the flu. Okay, and here's the timeline. February 8th, 2020, in his diary, he said case fatality rate is no more, it's 0.2 to 3%. And then on March 10th, he went on Sean Hannity and he said the mortality rate is about 2 to 2.5%. It's probably lower than that, closer to 1%. But even if it's 1%, that's 10 times more lethal than the seasonal flu. And then March 11th, he went in front of Congress and he stated the fatality rate is overall about 3%. Mind you, he keeps going up, Pat. He said if you count all the cases as asymptomatic infection, this probably brings the mortality down to 1%, which means it's 10 times more deadly than seasonal flu. So he's saying something to himself in his diary, which is way lower, but in front of the world, he's saying that it's worth. And then on March 27th on the Daily Show, he said the mortality of this is about 10 times the flu, at least 1%. But in his journal, it's 0.2%, pound, which is huge. Then he tells the public over and over it's 3 to 5 times higher. And why is he doing that? So my thing is on Wednesday, I hope Rand Paul digs into him, but at the end of the day, nothing's going to happen, Pat. He's untouchable.
I want to show you two clips, folks. This is one clip of Rand Paul, and then I want to show you one clip of Bhatia Sangar, who was interviewing him, where you just have to see it to see the contradiction in what he's saying. Here's Rand Paul. Go for it.
Is it too vague to say, I'm going to prosecute you for, not prosecute you and pardon you for anything you did in the last 10 years? I think there's a possibility the court says that's vague and not specific, and you can't give people some pardon for everything and over such a long period of time. I think there's a chance we'd win that. I think it ought to be fought. We have two clear-cut cases against him, lying to Congress, which is a felony, but also destroying public records.
But nothing's going to come from it. So why are they telling us all these things? Why are they telling us all these things? Nothing is going to come from it. That guy just lied to everybody. People lost their jobs, lost their careers, lost their military dreams, lost their business, their family business that's been around forever, lost it because of this. And nothing is going to come from this. This guy's going to get away scot free. Democrats are going to win the next election. He's probably going to, Dr. Oz is going to be fired, and this guy's going to be put right back in his place, y'all, position of power. And if not, he's going to have somebody in his family tree, you know what I mean, of him be in the position of power, y'all. Nothing's going to come from it.
Amnesia event. There was something that happened globally where we lost connection. We lost the signal around 5,000 to 7,000 years ago globally. Peoples all over the earth suddenly got disconnected from their intelligence. And we see this massive event of loss of life or disappearance of life. So you got the Aztecs and Mayans, Incas. You got all these systems that had been thousands of years building incredibly complex underground labyrinths that go for tens of thousands of kilometers, or things that we can't even wrap our heads around right now, was being done all over the world, not just in Cairo, Egypt. The pyramids off the coast of Japan are way bigger than what was going on in Egypt. And so we had pyramids all over the freaking planet that were technologies that were concentrating energy.
It is the food. I have no proof, but I know that it's the food. I feel like I've got, I don't know, maybe IBS or something, right? I don't know if like it's an allergy or it's an intolerance, or I don't know what it is. But when I eat certain things, I've noticed that now when I eat certain things, my body just reacts badly to it. And I think back about fresh produce, bread, like all of the things I used to eat when I was a kid, how long they would last, how fresh they would stay, and the quality of the things, especially meat, the quality of the things that I would buy. And what I'm realizing now is that everything's gone downhill. Not only is it like smaller in size, more expensive in price, but I feel like the quality nowadays is terrible. And I feel like I shop relatively well. I'm not saying I do like my weekly food shop in like an M&S or fresh from a farm, but I try and buy like good quality products. And I really, really see the difference. Like I really see the difference in what I grew up eating and what I'm eating now. And when people keep saying it's the food that's making us ill, it's the food that's doing this, it's the food that's cool. It's the food. It is. It's the food. Something's going on with the food. I don't know what it is, but I stand on that.
Birthmark. Like I said, y'all, it's something there. Even with meat, like I don't feel that focus doing keto. I don't feel that mental clarity. I don't feel that drive, that just happiness. I just don't feel it. Now I can understand if the price was going up and the quality of it was going up as well.
Are an indication of how you died in a past life. Your fascinations, your interests, your likes also has to do with your past life. Everything you like and you don't like is for a reason. I always had a fascination when I was little with skulls. My favorite color has always been red. Red coloring box, red backpack, red. Roses, owls. I had severe arachnophobia. Now there's another thing that really tells you your fears are meant to be conquered, so what is meant to be scared is actually what is meant for you. I was very, very scared of spiders and stuff like that. Santa Muerta is a path, spiders connect with her. So I learned to start beating a lot of those fears. At that point, obviously I didn't know that. But the more I started, I not get scared. Loved horror movies, loved all this stuff that was of the dark. Now, if we don't learn it for this one, we're going to pay for it regardless in the next one. This is why reincarnation, life cycles, past lives, the whole thing's birthmarks are an indication of how you died in a past life. So everything is tied into life.
Say that one more time. Birthmarks are an indication of how you
died in the past
life. I've never heard that before.
It's because they're spiritual.
I got a lot of birthmarks.
Yeah, you died a lot of times.
What the fuck is going on here? I'm here for initiation.
You're to be a volunteer?
Just, I got connections with like Elijah Walker. I got connections with like Peter Thiel. I got Larry Ellison on speed dial.
Okay, get the fuck out.
I'm the perfect candidate for this. I'm ready. Hit my line.
Y'all, I don't know if this was a skit that they knew about it or what, but that's how rude this customer service is now. That guy literally, or that girl, whatever, literally said, "Get the F out." And the person sitting next to him didn't even say, like, "Hey, he's a customer. Whether he's in here to go viral or whatever, you can't talk to them like that. Sir, can you leave? You got your video." You know what I mean?
used to these medications. I'm here because I have personally treated over 350 patients with COVID. Patients that have diabetes, patients that have high blood pressure, patients that have asthma, old people. I think my oldest patient is 92, 87-year-olds. And the result has been the same. I put them on hydroxychloroquine, I put them on zinc, I put them on Zitromax, and they are all well. For the past few months, I've taken care of over 350 patients. We've not lost one. Not a diabetic, not a somebody with high blood pressure, not somebody with asthma, not an old person. We've not lost one patient. And on top of that, I've put myself, my staff, and many doctors that I know on hydroxychloroquine for prevention, because by the very mechanism of action, it works early and as a prophylaxis. We see patients, 10 to 15 COVID patients every day.
So what we're going to do is we're going to sign for Toys R Us to sell all of the land under every store they own in the United States. You know what we're going to have them sell it to? Our sister firm that we also own, that's our real estate investment trust. We're going to sell it to ourselves for cheap. We're going to lease it back to them for expensive. So now they have a lease they didn't have when they were still successful. So next, we're going to look at all their warehouses where they have backstock that carries them over in economic downturn. And we're going to sell that to a liquidator, all of the extra stock. And we're going to sell the warehouses. Maybe to our real estate investment firm, we can lease those back too. All of the infrastructure that Toys R Us had built over 100 years to become the successful powerhouse it was, they decimated in literally 2 years. And at the end of this, Toys R Us can no longer make their payments to the bank. So they're going to have to file bankruptcy. And then what's going to happen is all of the assets that Toys R Us have left, which is largely only the intellectual property at this point, we're going to have a fire sale. And you know who's going to buy it for pennies on the dollar? One of our sister private equity firms. And they're going to get the intellectual property. Then we're going to sell that to Macy's to use. And then we're going to go buy Macy's and we're going to start over again.
Love America, right? All legal. Look at this guy eating a pizza, y'all. Right in our face. Right in our face.
Second, your claim to fame is that you look exactly like one of the most prolific human traffickers and child rapists ever to have existed. Imagine for a second that is your claim to fame, and you rose to the top of it. People made merch for you to run for mayor. You went on Jimmy Kimmel. You have your own Wikipedia page.
Kimmel,
I caught
y'all.
this video a couple days ago or a while back when the Netflix trend was still going on, and the whole thing just unnerved me a whole bunch. Like, where have we ended in a society that we actually find humor in this? Why isn't this guy under a rock somewhere or getting massive amounts of plastic surgery in order to change what he looks like because he is so ashamed of what people are comparing him to? But we're not. We made him famous, okay? And now we make jokes of it now. Okay, I saw a couple other videos, recent videos, making jokes about it because it's funny. It's normal. It's funny. Don't you get the joke? It's funny. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. He can't help how he looks. It's just a joke. Shit's playing right in your fucking faces. Right in your faces. And we don't talk about it anymore because, you know, Iran and AI and data centers and all the other multiple fires that are going on. We don't talk about it anymore. There's been no justice. There's been nothing. There's just nothing. Instead, now we make jokes out of it. All the jokes. Don't you get it? It's funny. When I started this, there was a real concern that they were trying to normalize this type of behavior, and I thought, no way. There's no way you're going to normalize the outrageous things that we like researched in, you know, Pizzagate and all that stuff. There's no way. But they did. They did, and we made a joke out of it. And then we made him famous. Wild times.
You know, I think it's deeper than that, y'all. I think it's deeper than that. I think this guy was not organic. He didn't just pop up one day and somebody recognized him that was already popular and had millions of viewers, and then was like, "Hey, you look like so and so," and then he pops up everywhere. I don't think that was organic, because you see when he comes around regular people, like that guy that yelled his name in the car and he was next to him. Imagine if that was Aiden Ross that called his name next to him. He'd be like, "Hey, pull over. Let's get some pizza. Let's hang out." This guy, a random person, did that. And look at him. He looked at him and took off. Then he smiled like he looked disgusted. Like he is disgusted with himself, because that's his claim to fame. You want to be famous? This is what you got to do. That's what I think. I don't think he's organic. I don't think he just one day was walking down the beach and people were like, "Hey, you look like so-and-so. Come on our podcast." You know what I mean? Because when he gets around everyday people, he doesn't, it doesn't seem that he has that same energy than he does when he's sitting in front of a camera with millions of people watching. That's my opinion on him.
EMDR. Did you ever do EMDR?
I never did EMDR.
EMDR is amazing because it taps into your subconscious. When I did EMDR, stuff came out that I didn't even really didn't know was there.
Mm-hmm.
So it can it can find the root of why you got that trauma. Mm-hmm. And it's profound. Mm-hmm. EMDR is profound because it's like, that's why I act like that. Mm-hmm. Or that's why my mother treated me that way. Or this is why that happened. It helps you. And then like EMDR, like when I did it recently, I was able to go to my childhood self and say, it's okay.
Wow.
I'm here. Mm-hmm. It's fine.
Yeah.
You're loved, you're appreciated, you know, all of that. Mm-hmm. And it helped me to get past whatever that was.
I think you can get there without doing DMT or EMDR or whatever. I think if you went out, you know, because think about it, when you do these things, you go out, you get away from all distractions, no phones, no internet. You go out into the middle of the woods, right? The middle of the jungle, and they do these things. Yeah, that hallucinogenic does something and get you there quicker. But I think if you just got away and say you had a 20-mile hike and you just went, you would start breaking things down, y'all. You would start remembering things like, damn, this, that, and start working through things. I think if you really wanted to, you just got to get away from distraction. There's a reason why they don't do it. Come to your house and do it, right? You have to go to them in the jungle and do it where there's no distractions. Then you got to go through a detox before you even do it. You can't eat, you can't drink nothing before you do it, right? And then you take the drug and it does it quicker. But I think if you went out and you like a 20-mile hike out there, I think you can open some doors, right? Like David Goggins says, you got to go through hell. You got to put your mind through hell to break it down and build it back up. That's what they're doing. That's what he's doing, breaking down his trauma and building himself back up.
Chinese factory video claims LV sneakers only cost $55.
No way, you don't say.
$22.50. Y'all let me know why y'all still buying luxury brands, because boy, this pimping. If we being honest, I buy the reps, spend about 10% of the price, still look just as fresh, especially if you put it on right.
Yeah, but I bet you ain't gonna tell that girl at the club that you got these for $50 and then pay $22.50. You're still gonna act like they're $22.50, right? You know what I'm saying? You're still gonna lie to people, you know.
I mean, honestly, I'm
you ain't gonna go out there and say I got these
Ocho
$50.
Cinco. Y'all listen to what my man had to say.
Not paying for
Ocho
it.
Cinco
If I can
is.
get something that looks like it, the real thing, knowing I already have money, I'm gonna get the fucking replica.
I just don't wear it.
Because what are you gonna tell me?
Yeah, I'm rolling with Ocho on that. What y'all gonna tell me? I'm buying the reps. I'm not spending $2,200 knowing myself that I've made shoes before and they only cost me $28 a pair. I'm not spending the extra. I can't do it. I just can't do it. Y'all let me know if y'all gonna continue to do that, but I can't buy into the brands, bro. I can't pay the extra. I need to send it to me for free. Send me a care pack, yeah.
Why do you think the data centers are there?
Because it sounds terrible and everything, and I don't want one near me. But it's just like, I know the behavior. They're always doing a scam. And one thing I think that happened is existential threat rhetorically moves people to oddly invest. It's like blood diamond made people want to buy diamonds. They're like, people die for this. Do you love your wife? Like, that was a commercial for fucking diamonds. As soon as you can make diamonds in a lab, no one wants them. They want to know that someone died. That gives value in a really fucked up way. Same with AI. Yeah, imagine if they go, this is the God that will change all of economy. They're like, well, then I need to be a part of that's now a thing I'm going to think about all the time. I've never seen a robot do anything ever. Dude, and I'm like 46. I've been hearing this shit for fucking ever. I had the Jetsons as a kid. It's a tool.
Did y'all see the military draft list that just got leaked about which occupations they're going to draft first? Allegedly. Let's look into it. Now, right before we get into the occupation list, there is someone by the initials AJ who did prove that they were running simulations with AI to see how it'd go down if there was a military draft. I'm not saying it's true, even though the guy proved it. And then this got leaked. So, list of jobs that will be drafted first. Computer network technicians, electronic technicians, aerospace engineers, divers, welders, gas turbine engine mechanics, electricians, heavy equipment operators, longshoremen, steelworkers, pipe fitters, radar communications, fiber optic technicians, mariners, aviation, structural mechanics, cybersecurity specialists, robotic operators, and technicians. air traffic controllers, logistics specialists. So on July 23rd, 2026, Selective Service released a military contract for software to simulate military drafts, with the contract age being 6 to 12 months. It's worth noting that September 11th, 2001, there was also a simulation called Operation Vigilant Guardian. Now keep in mind, there's 2 countries right now actively doing drafts, and Europe may be the 3rd one to add to that list. Yeah guys, this is pretty weird. Let me know.
I wonder if they would do like draft content creators. Like they're already paying people to talk about, my side's the best, their side's the worst, you know what I mean? But I wonder if they would draft, because war is different now, y'all. It's not about bombing, it's not about gun boots on the ground, it's not about that no more. It's about technology pretty much. The mind, controlling the mind is war, right? And if you can pay somebody, we're gonna pay you this, we're gonna give you all these followers, you're gonna make good money, you're gonna be out there in front of everything, right? You're gonna have all the crowd, all the whatever, kind of like selling your soul. But you got to say this draft is for, it's a good thing that we're doing this. I bet you they would go there, y'all. I bet you they would. They're doing it already.
I saw Spain yesterday, and I watched the catastrophe that took place. It looks like an invasion of a country by hundreds of thousands of people. And that same thing's going to happen to us if the Republicans don't get elected, except worse. Much bigger.
Man, they're still coming over here. What you mean?
Despite the fact that we have built thousands of miles of wall, which I said we were going to do.
They're jumping over walls right
But
there.
we didn't have that, forget it. But we have the safest border in the world. If we're not in office, our country will be invaded at levels that made Spain look small time. And when I watched it, I said, boy, I'm going to say it because I knew you were going to be at Camp David. And I say, that's going to be a talking point for the midterms. Because when you look at what happened to Spain, they don't know what to do.
Can't stand
and it's
this guy,
happening
y'all.
again today. They're coming in by the tens of thousands. They're just invading the country. And what that is weak law, bad management.
Oh, young kids.
But very liberal law. They passed a couple of laws, and people read. People are smart. They read from other countries.
Barefoot.
And they swam that 3-mile swim or however they got in, but nobody's seen anything like it. That will look good compared to what's going to happen to the United States.
Like everyone's lying, huh? All media's lying. That looked like they were all young kids, fresh shave, fresh haircuts, nice tans. Look like paid actors, y'all. Just for the camera.
Watched for years, gangster shit paid off.
If you do it smart.
Smart. We just seen President Trump violate Article 2 and international law enforced by NATO. They broke several international laws by arresting President Maduro in Venezuela.
You don't give a damn.
And then what did Senator Rubio say? He said we don't care what NATO says because NATO empowers dictators. History was written by the best group of killers, bro.
So what that's gonna do though? Like that gonna cause problems?
Actually, it's gonna stabilize a lot of things because now people know. Wait a second.
These niggas not playing.
They not playing. On Christmas night, President Trump bombed a Boko Haram terrorist sect in Nigeria. They've already killed 40,000 Christians in Nigeria throughout the year.
Meaning genocide.
On Christmas night, he told them Merry Christmas. Bombed them. No 75 virgins for y'all.
There's something wrong in this country telling people it is okay to work 3 jobs, not see your kids, not see your loved ones, not take a vacation, and God forbid you get sick. Okay? And I still got a job at home because I'm a mother. Because let's not forget, I don't get a day off. And I got to figure all that out. How are we going to eat? How are we going to pay rent? How are we going to pay the utility bills? That every single thing went up after COVID. Not one thing stayed the same except salaries. The only thing that stayed the same in this country is the minimum wage. Even though everything else went up. There is no scarcity. It is how do we pit people against each other so they're too distracted to see everything that I'm too addicted to consuming. And how much profit I'm making, and more profit, how many more houses one individual could have, how many yachts can one individual have, regardless of whether I am a female, male, whatever. I am a human being first. With what conscience are you criminalizing poverty? And it's not going to stop just in the United States. The poor of the world, not just this country, are fed up. And let's not leave out rural communities. I live in Haines City, Polk County, Florida, okay? But do you think that the poor and rural communities have transportation? They don't. There is absolutely not even a sidewalk to walk on because I am giving the message of stay poor, stay hidden, and die silently, okay? If I get a job, how do I get to that job? If I even get it when I'm in a rural community.
You know, that was post 2020, y'all. I remember that clip. 21, 22 maybe. Look how much worse it's got. We would do anything to go back to those 2020 prices. 2021, 2022 prices. Right? That's what they're going to go back to probably. Maybe. I don't see this ever coming down, y'all. I just don't. I know it's happened before time and time again, but I always say we always had one grocery store in our community. Maybe one restaurant in our community growing up. Y'all growing up, Goodyear, Arizona, when I was out here, my girl's family just came. I told them all out here where we live at now, it was fields. It was crops out here. There was nothing. There was Litchfield Road, nothing on Bullard, nothing on Saraville, nothing over there. There was a park and swap. We were all excited about that park and swap. But it was Litchfield. It stopped at Litchfield. Now look at it, y'all. It's too much. People are making too much money now. Back then in the 80s and the 70s and the 60s when inflation was worse than this, there was nothing out there, y'all. There was no Chili's. There was no Walmart. There was no, it was a local hardware store. There was no Home Depot. There was no Lowe's. There was no Amazon warehouse. Now it's big corporations, y'all. And they're racking in profit. Too much profit. They ain't going to give that up. They ain't going to bring it back down. There's no way.
Good old days when circumcision was just $3.50.
What was that from? I'm still paying hospital bills, y'all.
Here's how it's looking now. I mean, yeah. As you
think it's coming back? Look at LA.
Damn.
Look at that. That's Los
Hey, what's up,
Angeles. Look at that.
This sidewalk's a little crazy, don't you think?
Yep, I'm trying to clean it up.
Hey man,
He's tweaking. That's why he's cleaning. He's gonna clean it up and make another mess just to clean it up.
Sidewalk, brother. That's an uphill battle right there.
That's what tweakers do.
Damn, bro, he's right outside of the house and apartments. It smells real bad. Oh, it still smells very smoldery and ashy, but there's trash on fire.
Like Grand Theft Auto.
What would it take for them to actually rejuvenate this entire area? Obviously, it starts with the park. If by against all odds, they can make that park into a nice place to be again, there is hope for the surrounding area. But I am standing on the same opinion that I am not of the belief that park can be saved. They could, in theory, start really fixing this surrounding area. In my opinion, in a lot of ways, it's worse than Skid Row over here. It really is. It's real bad.
There you go, y'all. You want a YouTube idea? Get you a Surron, get you an e-bike, and go cruise around your area. Film it. People are in poverty out there in LA, and this guy is thriving off people's poverty. He's making hundreds and thousands of dollars a year, if not a month. He's on Twitch, he's on Kick. He just drives around with the GoPro on and just drives and talks. Rides around his e-bike all day. That's all he does downtown LA. He can't go to other parts of LA, and he tells you, I can't go there because they don't allow e-bikes. So I stay in downtown LA, and he still gets hundreds and thousands of views, y'all. It's simple. Just put a camera on you. Go in your car. You don't even got to get an e-bike. Start in your car to build a following, then go buy an e-bike.
I seriously don't understand how we're not protesting right now. We'll storm the Capitol. We'll protest Black Lives Matter. We'll protest against ICE. We'll protest for gay rights. But we're not out here protesting for affordable living. Come on, man.
I'm at a table.
It's because those protests aren't organic. They start because the powers that be want you out there. Duh.
And I look up and across the table is the fella, the demon. I'm just frozen there, and he's talking to me. He's like, kill yourself. And he's like, you first. And then I remember this clearly. I said to him, at the end of the day, all you can do is talk. You can't do anything. He smiled very big and said, watch me. In that exact moment, my friend Dom wakes me up, and he's like, listen to me. There is something in here. I'm looking in his eyes and seeing he's not joking. the two girls that were sleeping in the van said, did one of you boys like walk to the girl side of the camp? We both watched somebody walk from your side to the girl side and never came back. And I said, did he look like this? And was he walking like this? And they were like, yeah.
How much Erica Kirk's brother looks like Tyler
Yes,
Robinson. Like,
yes.
twins is a stretch, but extremely close.
I mean, he definitely looks like he could be the blurry figure in all of those videos that they say was in 4K. That was definitely Tyler Robinson. That could have easily been Erica Kirk's brother.
Watch this.
Moment in history as we're looking at efforts across the country to prevent people from being able to exercise their fundamental rights.
What?
We need to come together and do one thing, stop participating. And when we do that, the game is over. When we literally say, Monday morning, we're not going to go to work. Imagine if 30 million people didn't go to work Monday. Imagine if 30 million people didn't buy gas on Monday. Imagine if 30 million people went to the bank on Monday and said, I want to withdraw all my money. They can't even give it to all 30 million because only 15% of the cash is available on hand at any given time. The rest is fake zeros and ones. That would collapse the banking system in one day. You see the power in that? You have the power. Well, we all have the power. But what's keeping us back from doing this? Fear. Oh my God, if I don't go to work, I'm going to get fired. And if they don't participate in it, and I'm the only one that doesn't show up for work, I'm going to lose out, and you're not going to be able to pay my rent. I'm not going to be able to make my car payment, and so forth and so on. You see the trap they have us in? They have us in this system where we're afraid to work together. Man, we're brothers. We should be, link up. Let's do this together.
We didn't need no jobs. Think about it. Why the fuck do we need to work in they factories which are designed to kill off our nature, our wildlife, and us? So no matter where you work, medical field, sports entertainment, you become a rapper, you sell drugs, you go work at Burger King, you go work in retail, all these companies are against us. Yeah, we buy shoes, but we don't think about how many kids they kill and enslave to make the motherfucking shoes and these clothes that we don't even need. We buy food, but they poison in that. We buy water, they poison in that. We go work in the medical field, they train you to poison your people. It's not a job you can name that is not designed to kill us. That's the end goal of every major Fortune 500 company. It's to kill us. Okay? So as you can see that clearly, you can see what the fuck a job is. That's like when I worked at Burger King, McDonald's. I sold all this badass poison meat to my people for a check.
Everybody stop.
It's kind of crazy that I was just thinking right now, that dude must be not part of the system, right? We see all these same characters around on everyone's podcast, all of them, right? The Unks, the CC dude, the Maverick, they're all on each other's podcasts. This guy's been speaking that for a while, and I've never seen him on any other thing. Never seen him on anybody else's. So, that dude must be organic.
Going to work, stop driving, stop buying gas. It's only going to take a week.
You think
Watch
a week?
how much those gas prices drop.
Well,
Nobody bought gas for 1 week.
They
already have the gas. Remember, we took over
it from
Venezuela.
Right.
They
This
have
is a con.
preserve to say that
You
they
have
kill
to do
all.
something that indicates a position of power.
Yeah.
They can't evict the entire fucking country. So they have to make choices that are going to be in their best interest. If they see everybody stops going to work because they don't want to pay $4 a gallon for gas, first thing they're going to do is lower the gas prices. What do we need to do to get you back to work? Because we need people working and we need people contributing to the economy. So it's not until we start taking back our opportunities to feed them money that they're going to make changes that are in our best interest.
You own the sound.
I don't even think they will. I think they'll just hit the eject. That's it. You guys figure this out. Because if we do bow down to you, we're always going to have to bow down to you, right? Check this out, though, y'all. This is crazy. Got a little rant coming up after here, y'all. Towards the end of the video, I like to talk a little bit because the real fans are here right now. I had to mute the music. But it was like signing. Who is outside walking and it's 117 degrees out there? That bottle's ridiculous. Right after y'all, his son. Not too long after that.
In Philadelphia's Olney section claimed the life of an up-and-coming musician. The 25-year-old rap artist was known as Young Cheese, and he's the son of well-known influencer Gilly the King. Action News reporter Taronda Thomas now live for us at Franklin Music Hall in Spring Garden tonight. Taronda, reaction is pouring in for this life cut short.
It really is, because Gilly the King has amassed millions of followers, and a lot of them are planning to come here next week for Gilly Fest. It's a big concert. He uses his platform to speak out against violence, and now violence has claimed the life of his son.
It's a sad day today in Philadelphia.
It's the type of news radio personality Mina Say What never thought she'd have to share.
It was just devastating.
The son of her friend, Gilly the King, killed on the streets of Philadelphia.
Yeah,
But I think
did Hollywood call you yet? I mean, you know, yeah, I'm a part of that Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? I got a Hollywood agency. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question, right? I can't say too much, but I'm going to say it. Has it ever been a time where as though, have you ever got a visitor?
A visitor? Like somebody come to your house?
How can I explain this? When you're getting to certain levels and you're going up, somebody come see you.
And want to come talk to you?
Somebody come and see you and to help you go to the next level.
To help you get to the next level, y'all, just imagine if that really was true that happened. I'm not saying it is, not saying it's not. At the end of the day, who really knows, right? We really don't know. We kind of know. But imagine somebody coming to you saying, Barstool Sports, that's who they signed with. We're going to sign. Segovia, we like your videos you do over there. We're going to sign you to $100 million contract. You just got to keep doing what you're doing. Five videos a week, hour-long videos. You don't got to sit here and live stream all day. Just that. Just keep doing what you're doing. We're going to sign you to $100 million, whatever. But I'm like, all right, dope. Let's do it. Barstool Sports. Where's the hat? But one of these days, it might be tomorrow. It might be next week. One of your very close family members you can't live without is going to no longer be here. And it's going to be because of you're going to sign this contract. Good, bro. I don't need it. Bye. There's the door. Hit that lock button on the way out, please. I wouldn't even think about it. I'm okay. I'm making okay money out here. Gilly the Kid and Wallow, they were doing good on their podcast. They were doing good already. Like, think of the greed, y'all. Think of the taste for hunger, right? That's a different type of mentality to have that, to want to get there, even if that.
2 weeks, 8 water things. You have to ask yourself why. It just could be old infrastructure, which they say it's over 115 years old under the streets of LA. But to just think that 8 things can all of a sudden go wrong, or they could be weakening the infrastructure. They want to build smart cities, which they're doing. And it's like, oh, well, then they can put water restrictions on us and other restrictions. It's the fire caused this. Now we have to take away this. So there's no more fires like that. Oh, the water we need to fight the fires, and we've had problems with that. So it could all be for control, or it all could just be happening. This city could be old, or it's just all a total coincidence. But you know it's not.
This whole thing with Nolan Wells, he goes on a trip on Horn Island, goes on a boat with I guess it's his friends. Some people were saying, oh, it's his best friends. It's not. Then everybody comes back. He doesn't. And then just right off the rip, it gets weird because the parents are looking for him. Hey, what's going on?
That lawyer.
Where's
that
Nolan?
lawyer?
Not sure.
Wouldn't trust that guy.
Why do you have his phone? And how come you don't want to give it up to the parents? They get the phone back. Stuff is missing. What 18-year-old doesn't message on his phone to anybody for a whole week? Doesn't make sense. The kids that were actually on the boat with him, while everybody was looking for Nolan, they were at breakfast. So then people were like, hey, how come you're not looking for Nolan? What's going on? Oh, you think we did it already? Did what? He's missing.
Right.
Here's another thing. One of the kids, his mom is a judge. So we have all these pieces already that it just looks bad.
Right.
Here's another weird thing. The search party. Everybody was looking for his body, right?
Right.
They find no body. Days later, oh, wait, there's a body. Where did the body come from? So you search everywhere and then he just magically appears. They found his body fully clothed.
Where did they find it?
See, that's the thing. They didn't say where exactly. They said, oh, we found him on Horn Island. There's no specific details. Was he in the water? Was he not in the water? Is he halfway? Was he washed up? Now, the autopsy report just came out.
Okay.
Autopsy report comes out. Now, this is the second one. The first one was done by the state, which is automatically weird to me because, for one, they waited so long. Two, who do you think knows the autopsy person?
The judge.
The judge. They have a second autopsy. They say it's inconclusive.
What's inconclusive? His death?
Yes. They're saying that they don't know exactly what happened. His throat is missing.
What do you mean his throat?
His throat is missing.
It's cut out?
Because of the first autopsy. It's inconclusive because of the other autopsy. Now, there's an abrasion on the back of his head. They're saying that they don't know if it's from being on a slab because it can be pulled up blood. It can be, there's no fractures and no bruising, but they do have this red part on his back of his head. The timeline is very sketch because the judge, she posts on Facebook before deactivating it.
Right.
So she says, hey, they told Nolan, hey, we're taking on water. Basically, their ship is sinking. Right?
Uh-huh.
Slowly. We got to get out of here. We got to go back. That was at 3:00 sharp. 4:30. Then they leave? That's strange because you just said you told him at 3. He says, no, I'm talking to a girl. I want to stay. And then 4:30 you leave. So what's the time gap? And then the girl that he said that he was talking to, she said that wasn't even true.
Yeah, I can probably almost guarantee those kids are getting away scot-free because it's not what you know, it's who you know. And their mom's a judge. You know she's got some connections in the city. But anyways, y'all, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Man, I did this whole video. I don't even know how long it's going to be. I did my second channel, and during my long video, this upload, only half of it. I was only going to upload a 28-minute video today because my microphone cut out. So all these rants you saw me on, it was just silence. So bummed, y'all. But you know what? I said, you know what? I'm going to come in here. Kids are asleep. I'm going to come in here, bang out the rest of that video. No upload from my second channel. We'll do that tomorrow. It's going to be on inflation, exposing how crazy and just exposing the inflation conspiracy, right? We're going to get into that on the second channel. Link down below. Make sure you guys go get a head start. Go over there, subscribe, turn on your bell notifications. But I'm going to get out of here, get this video edited. Got an hour banger coming out for you guys today. This is Segovia, signing out of the Man Cave. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next one. Later.